Welcome back, doers. I have received so many messages and screenshots in your stories about this series, which makes me even more excited to get this out for you. No pressure. But as I was mapping out this series, I thought, what skills does someone need to be really good at in order to see success in our line of work? Now, some of these skills are obvious and others aren't, and that's why we're going to start with mindset. And yes, you need a system for your mindset, especially if it's not something that you already consistently do. So let me pull back the curtain on your brain. Everything starts here. Doesn't matter how many times we talk about it, or if you think you have the best, most positive growth mindset, it bears repeating. Your mind is your best friend. It's gonna believe and agree with everything you tell it. Just sitting there nodding in the corner with its pom-poms telling you you're right. If you think you won't succeed, you're right. If you think your friends and family won't support you, you're right. If you think you're gonna be bugging people, you're right. But if you tell your brain, I'm consistent, you're right. My team is full of business builders, you're right. My team is showing up, you're right. So think of your body as a magnet, and the thoughts that you have are the charge. So what are you attracting? This is where affirmations come into play. So I have so much to cover that I'm gonna encourage you to search YouTube on creating the best affirmations for you, okay? Now, we've been programmed our entire lives to believe certain things, but you need to know that it is possible to unlearn and learn new things. You can change your mind. So think Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy. You believed in all of those things at one point, and then you changed your mind because you had more information, you saw more of the picture, you understood things differently. So when you learn to change your mind and see things differently, you can completely change your life. So in the free resource with this video, I want you to write out some affirmations, and the resource is meant to be used as a daily practice, not just something you do once. Now, some other things that you can read to dive more into this brain stuff is Train Your Brain, The Secret, and the Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And don't worry, I'm gonna put these down in the description box as well. So next up is writing your goals. Now, there are a lot of different camps when it comes to goal setting. Be realistic. No, you need to go big. Either way, vividly describing your goals in written form is strongly associated with goal success. So why does writing your goals down help? Well, writing things down happens on two different levels, externally and internally. Externally is easy to explain. You're storing the information in a location, a piece of paper, and it's easy to access and review at any time. Now, what happens internally is called encoding, and that's the biological process by which the things that we perceive travel into our brain's hippocampus, where it's analyzed. I know it's sciencey. But writing improves this encoding process so that it has a much greater chance of being remembered. Now, I know you're probably thinking, I know my goals. I came up with them. But just trust me, physically writing down your goals every day just does something different to your brain. One of my favorite authors, Grant Cardone, he writes his goals down every single morning, and he even mentions it in his books how he has tons of these notepads just filled with daily goals over the years. So write your goals, put them in places that you look at every day, the bathroom mirror, on your desk, on the coffee machine. You get the idea. So if you'd like to keep them on your desk, make sure you write your top 3 goals on the resource below this video. Now, most people go to school to learn how to be an employee, and that comes with an employee mindset. Now, when you start a business, you have to leave behind the belief that you should be dependent on a paycheck, the approval of bosses and coworkers in a somewhat stable environment. It's jumping feet first into a world of calculated uncertainty, a world where you must own your own training and trust yourself to push yourself forward. Down in the description, I'm going to leave a link to a blog post that kind of goes hand in hand with this video. And in it are some examples of employee and entrepreneur mindsets from elevatenetwork.com. But one of my favorites is an employee mindset would say, I have to be the smartest person in the room. But an entrepreneur mindset says, I want to be the dumbest person in the room. Now, in Eric Worre's book, GoPro, he shares when someone started their business with him, he'd tell them this: people see success in this business all the time, but if you're going to succeed, it's going to be you who creates that success, and not your sponsor, not me, not your upline. We give you access to a ton of tools and opportunities to learn, but bottom line, it's up to you to pick them up and actually utilize them. And the same goes with not succeeding. You are going to be the difference in the equation. And that's a great example of an entrepreneur mindset. Another one of my favorites from Eric Worre is his airplane analogy. So think about your business as an airplane. As the pilot, if you give anything less than 100% throttle to get your plane off the ground and it doesn't, do you blame the co-pilot, the passengers, the airport, or do you say the airplane has a flaw? No, you didn't give it 100% it needed. Now, do you have to give it 100% of the time? No, you're gonna run out of fuel and fast. So what you have to do is give it 100% for a certain amount of time to get to that new level, and then you can pull back and coast. And that right there is some fire. Now, the last thing I wanna leave you with is thinking about who you're surrounding yourself with. So imagine an oak seed being planted in a huge oak grove. It's most likely to grow tall and strong when it's surrounded by other oaks. Now imagine that same oak seed being planted in a flower pot. It's going to grow, but it's never going to reach its full potential. The same goes for you. When you surround yourself with people who are already where you want to be, you're most likely going to grow into that as well. When you're surrounded with small-minded people, those who put you down or belittle you, reaching your full potential is going to be extremely difficult. Now, when I say surround yourself, it doesn't have to be physically. The people in my corner who pour into me daily don't even know I exist. Read their books, listen to their podcasts, follow their socials, fill your mind with amazing content, and seek out those who've gone before you. If you'd like to see who I'm enjoying listening to today, I'll leave those in the blog post as well. So make sure you set aside some time every single day to focus on your mindset. Say your affirmations, write down your goals, fill your mind with leadership and growth material. And anytime I'm doing a mindless activity, I have my earbuds in, so my brain is just constantly taking in amazing content. Now, if this resonated with you and you're excited to get your mind in the right headspace, take a screenshot right now. Share it to your stories, tag me, and tell me what your biggest takeaway and aha moment was. While you're waiting for next week's video, definitely check out these other two. If you liked this video and you want to see more videos on this topic or on systems, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notification when next week's videos drop, and I'll see you in the next video.